I got to ask something because going through some of the equipment in terms of security, is it the 247 or 24/7 color camera? Oh my Lord, that is one of the coolest cameras. When it's raining, good Lord, when that camera's playing, it looks like it's just a normal day. Can you guys talk about the 24/7? Because that's, to my understanding, that's a very popular camera right now, isn't it?
Yeah, right now it's probably one of our more popular cameras just because the night mode, instead of getting black and white images like you normally would, it tries to keep it in color, or it does keep it in color. So just overall clarity throughout the day and night is unmatched. So it's very nice. And it's at a good price point. So it's not one of the most expensive cameras out there either. So it's more affordable for everybody.
Yeah, it's right around the same price as you'd pay for like a hardwired Ring camera. It still runs Wi-Fi, but it would be powered hardwired, like a Flood or something like that. They do stay in color all the time, and because they don't go into black and white mode, they're not using infrared light, so it's not expecting infrared light to be reflecting off something and be shining back at the camera. Like the image you're talking about with the rain, when the rain gets close to those infrared LEDs, they light up, and they light up super bright, and that's what causes the camera almost to flake out, because the camera is trying to adjust to that light of the rain, and it can make a camera really blurry, just like a spider web. A spider web on a camera that runs black and white can cause you all kinds of weird issues, because the spider web's reflecting that light back in the camera, and the camera, because there's a black and white mode and there's day mode, it has to know, and it switches. It'll actually click from one mode to the other, and during that click, there's a moment of black. Like that could have been the time that someone ran through, or because it thinks that it needs to change. But with a full color, if someone shined a flashlight or something, it's not going to try to switch. It's going to stay in color mode. The moment their flashlight runs off of it, it's still on them. The LED that's on the camera itself is not an infrared light. It's actually a white LED. So when it turns on, it's actually emitting regular light.
I just watching the video, it is amazing, the clarity. I mean, it looks like, you're watching something around a movie. It's really amazing. The fact that, you could put that on your home, your personal home. Oh my Lord. Wow. What you said, the price is not too bad, right? It's in line with other high-end cameras. Is that right, Chris?
Yeah, right around like a Ring. They're around $250 a camera. And you get all the analytics, kind of like we were talking about earlier. You can do the tripwire, and you can choose which way of that tripwire is getting passed. So someone's walking by, kind of like how Mike was describing the lanes with the Ring, but instead you actually draw a line on a camera. So say it's a driveway, and you can choose which way it's going to take an image, or it'll take video. We try with ours on an NVR, we try to record all the time. So 24/7, the camera's recording, and then it'll record snapshots and motion. So our snapshots are what we try to use for notifications. So if a car comes in, drives across that line, it's going to take a snapshot of the car, and it's going to send it to an email, so you can go back and have a timestamp of the footage. We have customers that have guest homes that we use that a lot, where those homes, I really pushed for the NVRs because they're not there that much. And when the cameras are running on just motion and it's just cloud-based, you can have issues where all you have is these little motions where the car comes in, but you never actually get to see. It's hard to capture all of it. But because we're recording 24/7, we captured the car, so we have a timestamp. We can go back to the NVR and look at the full footage of that time and figure out what they were doing there, or how they got in, so on and so forth. Sometimes, because we have, our customers sometimes have landscapers, or people who water plants and clean the house. They all come, and a lot of times they're not home. So you want to know who's coming and going. So having that ability is great. And with an NVR, you're not uploading like the Ring. You're not using your network to upload through your public IP to the cloud. It's all being stored there on an NVR. So you got terabytes and terabytes and terabytes of storage. And so instead of sending like Ring being at about a 1080p resolution, it's about their new one, we're running 4K, which is 8 megapixels. So you can, like Mike was working on one just recently where it only got 4 hours of footage because we had 4 terabytes, but it was using a terabyte an hour of recording on that NVR. So it was like we had to really beef up how much storage we had. So I think we ended up putting 12 more terabytes in, or quite a bit more. I think, have you 4 hard drives in that one?
It ended up with 4, so we added 3 more.
Yeah.
But either way, you know, we had the ability to take it down a little bit and say, if, you know, if there's no motion, we don't need to record on certain cameras. There's some cameras you don't need to record all the time, or there's some that you do want it all the time. But
yeah. And
So-
then if you have security cameras that are going to be in a what we call a funnel point, you know, a front door or a hallway, an entryway corridor, you know, somewhere where someone has to walk through, they can't bounce out of the camera, they're forced to stop usually. That's going to give us a good image of someone who's coming to go and try to figure out who they are. Compared to like a viewing camera of your backyard, you're going to catch someone coming over a fence. Hopefully they come by the door. You know, a lot of people put cameras on their garage, but they're usually focused on their cars. That's in a sense a funnel point. They got to walk through the cars. They got to get close to them. They got to stop. And then you have cameras that, you know, for like they're watching something specific. Same with alarm systems. You know, Honeywell has sensors that can go behind pictures and a camera that could be focused on that with a box around it. And if someone gets in that area when they're not supposed to be, it can set off an alarm.